Blink, blink, blink. My enemy is just taunting me there, blinking incessantly. What am I gonna do? Madame Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and anyone else who has ever had trouble writing a humorous speech. For I was at my laptop staring at a blank screen, and there was that dreaded cursor. Blink, blink, blink. Look at it taunting me. How was I gonna think of something funny? My deadline was approaching. I needed to dazzle the people at Port Credit Toastmasters, and here was a blank screen. I suddenly thought of the movie Finding Nemo, where the father, Marlin, tells the other parents that he's a clownfish. And they all say, well, then say something funny. I was Marlin. I was drawing blanks. I didn't know what to do. So I decided I'm going to take a break from my enemy, and I'm going to surf the web, get my mind off of humor, just look at other things. Well, after visiting a few questionable websites, I ended up at the world champion of public speaking's website, Darren Lacroix. I don't know if the stars were aligned or if I was just leading a charmed life that day. For there, on Darren's blog, How to Write a Humorous Speech. Yes! I went back to that enemy. I stared him in the face. You are going to be flying on this page. I've got world champion help coming my way. You are going to be dazzled by the humor I am about to unleash. I was full of confidence. How could this go wrong? I started to read Darren's blog. And 20 seconds in, I felt the agony of defeat. For Darren said, "You're probably not funny." What? I'm a comedy legend at Port Credit. What do you mean I'm not funny? All right, I decided to read the rest of the blog. And Darren shared that comedy comes from tragedy. Comedy comes from tragedy? This wasn't making sense. I needed to reflect on the world champion's advice. So I started to think about speeches I had given at Port Credit. Oh yes, I remember one speech. I shared how I had a crushing defeat at a contest, how I couldn't beat my rival, Audrey, and it got huge laughs from the crowd. Yeah, maybe those sick bastards at Port Credit like tragic speeches. But maybe it was just a one-off. Let me think. Wait! I shared my very first date with my first true love. How we were sitting in a movie theater, and I was such a gentleman I offered to open her M&Ms, which in turn exploded over all of us. She crushed me that night and pushed me into the friend zone. But oh, the laughs I got at Port Credit. Darren's right. Tragedy does lead to comedy. I went back to my enemy, and I poured my soul. For if there's one thing that I have led, it is a tragic life. And so all the sordid details were coming out on that page. That enemy was no longer blinking. It was moving at light speed. It was cathartic. And now I have all this material to deliver a humorous speech tonight. But I'm not going to. For you see, I'm on a path, and this is only level 2. I need a lot more material for future speeches. But I'd like you all to consider Darren's tip. look back in your lives, look for tragedy, and try to find that humorous angle, that humorous take. You're going to find that events that took place in the past that were tragic, you can now look at with a different lens. And when you share that vulnerability with the audience, they are going to laugh. Partly because they're going to say, glad that wasn't me, and partly because they can relate to that tragedy. So those out there that want to brave a new path, I say join engaging humor, pour out your tragedy onto that page, and you will not see that enemy blink, blink, blink. Madame Toastmaster.